Welcome to Sincerely Bhakti, a challenge this year where I am exploring scripture with my intellect and with my heart. So today I'm reading from the Bhagavad-gītā, chapter 1, verse 39. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. With the destruction of the dynasty, the eternal family tradition is vanquished, and thus the rest of the family becomes involved in irreligion. So this is the beginning of the Bhagavad-gītā, where the scene is a battlefield and Arjuna is a warrior, and he's putting forth his objections to his friend Krishna that he does not want to fight in this battle. And he's listing many reasons. And frankly, when I read this, his reasons are so valid, so legitimate, and I feel quite convinced by Arjuna's arguments. And this particular one kind of hits me in a personal way, you could say. I don't know, it just somehow resonates because he's saying, with the destruction of the dynasty, basically the elders of society. And Srila Prabhupada explains in his commentary that the elders actually help the family members grow properly and attain spiritual values. And actually they conduct rituals, they teach, they offer their guidance, their instruction. But on the death of the elder members, family traditions and purification may stop. And the younger family members may develop irreligious habits. So they also lose their chance for spiritual growth, spiritual salvation. And Prabhupada concludes his purport by saying, therefore, for no purpose should the elder members of the family be slain. I found this fascinating because in modern culture, elders are considered almost a burden, dispensable. They're sequestered away in homes. Usually they're not really visited. But in this verse, it's emphasized so much that they should be honored and respected, and they are the most valuable members of society. The most. They carry on these deep spiritual traditions that hold the culture for everyone to advance in an auspicious way. And yet in our modern culture, we can see it flipped around so much that youth is valued above all, and the elders are seen as a burden and just not an attractive phase of life, and no one really goes to them for inspiration or guidance. And I know my husband works with a hospice, so he's a chaplain. He offers spiritual care to people who are dying, and he'll often visit people who are much older, and sometimes they don't have any visitors, and they're not valued by even their own families, what to speak of society. And so this objection that Arjuna is putting forth to Krishna, I find is very valid, and it makes me think, like, wow, Arjuna's objections are so powerful and so deep. And in Prabhupada's commentary for these various objections for Arjuna to not fight, he validates Arjuna's concerns. And he says again and again that Arjuna is objecting out of his saintly nature. He is objecting to fighting through his compassion and through his powerful character, actually. But it's in direct conflict with the fact that he is a Kshatriya or a warrior by his occupation in life. And there is almost a higher duty, which is that he needs to establish justice and righteousness in his kingdom and actually win back his kingdom that was taken from him unjustifiably. So I think it's a fascinating part of the Gita where Arjuna is putting forth his doubts, his concerns to the Lord, and ultimately being validated in those concerns. And then we kind of know what's coming in the Gita, which is that Krishna addresses those concerns and he answers each and every one of them. And I was thinking, this needs to be my own approach in spiritual life. I need to have my solid, powerful reasons, maybe even objections to not engaging in spiritual life or to doing the right thing, but to do so with sincerity, with an open heart, but with depth. And when I put that forth to either my teachers or to elders that can guide me, then I can actually receive guidance that is valuable and actually can touch and move my soul and move me to higher space of evolution in my life and in my spiritual life. So thank you for joining me today, and I will see you next time. Hare Krishna.